Today's performance and result is exactly the reason why I've not been getting carried away this summer. When people have been talking about Chelsea being world champions, yes, we deserved it. 100% we deserved to beat PSG. I had to put an apology video out, my last video here on the channel, to Enzo Maresca because I said he was a one-trick tactical pony. In that PSG game, I want you just to understand that PSG play open, they play attacking football, and they expect to dominate teams. Therefore, they leave loads of spaces at the back. Chelsea exploited that space and we killed them on the day. Now, we deserve to be world champions and 100%. We've made some good signings this summer that will help kick us on and take us forward. And hopefully, we'll score more goals and create more chances. But today against Crystal Palace highlights to me the problem that we've got and the problem that we're going to face in the Premier League. And that's when teams turn up at Stamford Bridge and they're going to set up defensively a 5-4-1 or 4-5-1, whatever you want to call it. And they're going to try to nullify the space in the middle of the pitch and force you out wide. And as soon as that ball comes in, there's so many bodies in that penalty box, it's going to make it so difficult to try and break them down. We've got the players to do it, and they need time. The new players need time especially to get used to everyone and the way we're trying to play. But today was real frustrating. It was frustrating because Palace defended well. Chelsea late on created some good half chances, you have to say. But there was no more than that, really. And it's something that is stopping me from going, do you know what? We can challenge this year for the title. We're not going to challenge for the title. My expectations for Chelsea is to finish top four again, try and get to the latter stage of the Champions League, have a good cup run. That's my optimism. That's my hope for Chelsea this season. Bearing in mind the players that we've signed and stuff like that. But think about it. Apart from Joe Hato, defensively, we got a problem. Colwell's out for the season. Chalobah is now the stalwart and someone that was forced out of the football club, let's be honest, brought back in. And he's now the stalwart. And we're still waiting for Fana. He's been a bit of a sick note last couple of seasons. Will he stay fit? Obviously, Tosin would have been in there, but Tosin's not the answer for me. Chels not the answer either. And we just have to look at what we're going to do with our defence. We need a settled defence. We need a settled back four. Actually, the whole unit needs to be settled for us to then build on that and then step forward. We have to learn how to break teams open that play defensive, that sit in a defensive formation against us. We need to come up with solutions because we couldn't do it today. And there's been numerous times last season where we couldn't do it. And that's when I was calling for the manager to make a tactical switch of some kind to try and force the result. Now, I really, really don't want to hope that we're going to get into this position where, you know, we just play the one tactic, the substitutions are like for like, and we're going to struggle to break teams down because they know how to defend against us in the way we play in our formation. I sincerely hope that's not going to be the case this season. But Palace, bit of a damp squib, wasn't it, really? Cole Palmer come to life, second half. You know, João Pedro not really in it, you have to say. Gittins was okay, come off, and then Esteval came on and promised what he delivered in a couple of opportunities was good, getting down the line and getting those crosses in. Unfortunately, one of them was just too high for Pedro Neto at the back post. I thought Neto needed to have done more today. I thought he spent most of the game being frustrated with things not going his way or passes not being made to him or overhit balls. He just seemed like he was a frustrated man today, Pedro Neto. Casino and Enzo were, as they normally are, in the middle of midfield. I thought, obviously, on the left-hand side, Cucurella was okay. James was okay. Got a silly booking, run the risk, and then he come on, and then Malo Gusto. For the life of me, taking a shot from 30 yards, we should have just played the ball. But it's going to happen. As these players play more and more together, they get used to the way they're playing. Hopefully, things will settle in. But that's my feeling about Chelsea this season and our expectations. Now, I'm asking you guys the same question now. What's your expectations of Chelsea heading into the new season? Do you see us kicking on and improving? Would you accept, like I am, a top four position, a good run, Champions League and cup competitions? Let me know in the comment section below. I'd love to hear from all of you. But I tweeted out on Friday, Jamie Carragher. Now, I like the overlap as a podcast. I watch it whenever it comes out. I find it fascinating, interesting, listening to those players that have been successful and their stories, managers, just people in general. I love it. But Jamie Carragher coming out with what he has done, been so negative about Chelsea, started last year, negative again. And obviously he made, they had a thing called Hot Take, and he made his hot take about Chelsea not getting past the first qualifying section of the Champions League. And I literally just thought to myself, what is your problem? Honestly, what is your issue with Chelsea? We're doing things different. At times I've not agreed with it. I think we've been a bit of a joke club as far as general signings go. I think there's been signings that have come off really well. Casido, your Enzo's, you know. And I just think there's some that have been made that have been a joke, and the fact that players are being left out or they're going after a season, going out on loan after 6 months. And just, for me, it's just this data-driven approach still riles me. You know, it's like you in the old days, you get to know the person as well as, like, you know, the scouting reports on them, but you get to know the type of person they are, their background. So you have an idea. It just seems to me that a lot of these signings that we made over the last couple of seasons have been data, purely data. They've come into the football club and just not worked out for one reason or another. And I just think we need to do more in depth with that. We still wait on Simmons, potentially. Still also waiting on Garnacho. Do we need them based on what we saw today? I'll take Garnacho 100% because I think he's direct. I think he's someone that's just one track and he goes. So you'd have Garnacho, Gittins, Neto and Esteval on the wings. The people we've sold this summer, I understand why we sold them. I don't have any issues with it. Like I say, it's a shame that some of them were only bought last year. That's why it's a bit of a mockery. So I just think that Chelsea's... We've come into this season with sort of renewed hope, optimism. You know, we improved on last year. I said at the beginning of last season he had to do better than Pochettino, and he did. Top 4 finish, 2 trophies. One of them, world champions for 4 years now. To rub it in people's faces for 4 years. Love it. But anyway, I just think that we just need to dampen them down a little bit. We need to understand how to break teams down, because if we're going to play one way, and I've said this time and time last season, if we're going to play one tactic and one way, we can't just rely on somebody else coming on in the same position to try and change it and do something different. We need to try and adapt to the opposition and try and change things about a bit, our formation, play different, play more free, to try and force the result. And I just really, really hope it's not Groundhog Day. Like I said earlier, we're going to sit there against these teams that have got no interest in attacking us, coming to Stamford Bridge for a point, or we play them at their place for a point, and making life difficult for us, because it'll be really frustrating, especially when there's no space in the middle for likes of Cole Palmer to operate. So Palace was a bit of a, not a wake-up call, but a bit of a jolt to everyone to say, look, calm yourselves a minute. Don't get over excited. Don't put your expectations to a whole nother level. Just be realistic. Think about what we're doing. Think about how we're playing. And think about what it's like in the Premier League. Because that's the bread and butter. That's where it's difficult. That's where we need to grind these results out. We couldn't do it today. So we go to West Ham on Friday night. And West Ham have had a bad start. And I can't believe, I think West Ham are going to be in trouble this year. But as we all know, anyone can beat anyone in the Premier League. We have to turn up with the right mentality, deliver the right performance and get the right result. And that's what I hope that we do. So, like I say, Palace today was disappointing. A bit of a bump back down to earth. And as I say, my expectations this year are top 4, latter stage of the Champions League and a good cup run. And I want to hear what your expectations are. I'm not trying to be down. I'm not trying to be negative. I'm just trying to be realistic, people, at the end of the day, because that's what you watch these videos for. Now, I know there was a video of all the big Chelsea YouTubers all together. They all had a conflab. I didn't see it. I saw a minute of it. I didn't watch the rest of it because I was at work and stuff like that. I haven't watched it. I don't know what the general consensus is because I'm not bothered about that. I just want to concentrate on what I'm doing, what I feel, and just being honest and open with you guys. And that's all I want you guys to be in the comments. What do you think about the performance today and overall, about the transfers we've made, potentials coming in, and where you think we're going to finish this season, or what would be a good season for you? Let me know in the comments section. I apologize, it's been a long time for a video. I've been working non-stop. I've been working longer hours, coming home and working at night. I've also just it's been so busy trying to get a video done, but I'm back on it now. As you can see, I'll get these videos done a couple of times a week, and I'll be back with live match commentary when I can. I can't do Friday. I'm out already on Friday, so I can't do that. But when Chelsea's back on the TV, I'll do another one, and hopefully we'll get the ball rolling and get the channel rocking and rolling again. Thank you so much for listening, for paying for your patience. I really appreciate all of you, and love to you all. I hope you're all good and your families are good and you're all well. And look, let me know what you think. Drop a like on it, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications. Spread the word for me. Promote the video out there for me on social media. Thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate you. See you all soon.